So it comes in like a crochet twist.
Right.
And what I do is I completely destroy it. I pick the blonde piece that I like the best.
To be at the end.
And I like this one better. I like the chunkier one, sometimes the fluffier one.
Yeah.
And so I set that apart. Now I grab this hair and I comb it. And then you feel me, I grease my scalp.
Important. This one is a little far down the thing. I don't know if you care, but in case you.
You mean like this one here? Yeah. What I do is I use this piece to wrap.
Oh, okay, that part. Gotcha.
Above it.
Just didn't want to let you be slipping. You
know? I appreciate that, because I'm telling you, the last time I chose to do this like really like thick box braid, I guess, I had this huge one in the back, like freakishly huge, and no one told me. And then I remember one day touching back my hair, like, that's a lot. You grew up in one spot, and I looked back in, and it's black, and the twist, the faux lock was this color. Yeah. So it was a patch of black with this one streak of blonde coming out. Like, so no one was going to tell me that I just made this freakishly huge part. Like,
tender-headed baby, sitting on the porch in between mama's legs. She pulling, she tugging, grease running down my head instead of my fro flying with the wind. My edges getting slicked and extensions coming in.
Okay, so the way I looked at it growing up was I wasn't tender-headed. My mom was just heavy-handed.
Yes, my mom was very heavy-handed. Okay?
Yep. Shoot. And, like, I just thought and as a child, I just thought it was silly to take someone with hair as thick as mine, grab a comb like this and just...
Yeah, not okay.
Yeah,
not
you know,
okay.
You gotta, like, section.
Little by little, give it some moisture, for real. Yes.
So I always find it surprising that, like, a lot of my friends, like, including my hair, like, still was able to grow under those conditions. It must have been the grease, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I personally, like, have to comb my hair in little sections or I'm in pain. It's weird, like, you really expect me to sit still and you hear my naps popping, like I'm breaking pieces of the comb.
Rubber bands popping.
Want me to sit still.
Grease running down my face. You got my neck all in a strange angle and whatnot. It's like, come on.
That used to feel like forever when, like, you had that one style that was really fly, but you had to have your neck like this for, like, at least... That 10 minutes, when I was little, felt like an hour every time.
Like, if you got the straight back braids or something like that, and then it got to that back nap part, and your neck was just stuck like this for a couple of days, and then you start trying to, like, pull out some pieces, you know? you start trying to...
like...
Shoot. And then I don't think... I can't ever recall my mom greasing my scalp.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think so. So your grandma, Miss Wanita, she was the one that made sure to oil or grease your scalp mostly? Yeah. Do you feel like, was there like a care process in that? Like, did you feel the love in that time? Or was it like, girl, just sit here, I just need to put this oil in your head real quick? I mean, but even that has some love, you feel me?
Right.
But, like, what did it feel like?
Like, in hindsight, like, yeah, definitely, I could see it was her, like, caring.
Yeah.
In the moment, though, it always felt like a chore.
Yeah.
Like, in the moment, I remember being like, man, but there was something, though, like, once you sat down and the coldness of the grease got to the scalp, that was always...
It felt good, yes.
And, like, since she was the one just oiling, like, I never was afraid for her to go in. I just kind of be like, now? But, whereas, like, when Mama and Juicy come over, I'd be like... Like, my little sister, Cynthia, she has the thickest hair of us all, but it also was the hair that grew the fastest.
Okay.
And, like, her hair blow-dried would, like, literally come down to her waist. And I just was really confused as to, like, why something like that, like, wasn't celebrated. Like, when she got her relaxer, it just all started to fall out. But like it's like yeah, like it's just like you real thick, and then one day you wondering why, and you're not like putting two and two together right away, like relaxer. But I mean, like luckily I did take that leap in high school and just cut my hair off, because like my family thought it was crazy at first. They were just like, you gonna go right back to the relaxer. But like after growing my hair out, Cynthia and Puka started growing their hair out. Jemiah only relaxes her edges now for her weaves, so like it's progress, you know. And,
evident progress,
right? Like my mom, like it like she still gets relaxers, but now she'll like let it grow out 6 months before like relaxing it again. Like it's progress. And
it's crazy how we can be like the babies of the family, not like the babies, but we end up influencing, like when we make a move, not only do we influence like our younger siblings and like relatives, but we also influence like our like moms and aunties and stuff. My little sister told me that she started wearing her hair natural because she saw me wearing my hair natural.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh.
And I remember like us being on BART, me, you, and Maya just somehow squeezing on a 2-seater. I don't know why we chose. We were squeezing on a 2-seater, and I remember you being like, hair's supposed to get curly when it's wet, and we were like, no.
For real?
It was something weird, yeah, something along the lines of like us not realizing like Maya's hair was heat damaged. I don't know what was going on with yours.
Girl,
I think you
ain't no telling what was going on with my hair.
and I had relaxed hair, and we were all trying to like, from our point of view, say what hair's supposed to do when it's wet. And I think that's when I started to realize, like, oh, my hair is straight when it's wet. Why? Like, that doesn't make sense. And I didn't realize what a relaxer was until then. So then I started doing braid outs. So I started transitioning.
Braid outs.
I would braid it at night, and like
kind of wear it poofy a little bit.
And that's how
But that was still with a relaxer technically.
Yeah, it was still with a relaxer, because the new growth started to come in, and
it was looking a little different.
And that's how I knew that I had to like gain some self-love, because I remember telling people at school that was my natural hair texture. And I remember being like really nervous to tell people that I was braiding my hair to achieve this poofy look. Because sometimes with the new growth coming in, you know, it started to coil around the edges. And I thought my hair was gonna come out like Essence, you know, like.
Oh, okay.
And once I saw that wasn't the case, I remember being embarrassed. But then I cut all my hair off. I don't know if you remember. I had I had still transitioned hair on top, like a mullet almost.
Shaved around the edges, kind of.
Yeah,
and then like bigger.
And just had poof.
Yeah, I do remember that. Oh yeah, that was before you started doing like the coil. Was that before the coil twist?
It was right when I realized I could do that, because I started raking gel through one day, because I was really mad. It was weird. Like I was mad at my hair for being poofy and not curly.
The way I chose to carry myself, it was all rooted in me wanting to be someone I wasn't. Me wanting to have hair texture that I didn't have, or me wanting to have a skin complexion that I didn't have, you know? So it's like I'm hiding myself, and I have this false air of confidence, you know, but at the root of that, once you behind the weave, behind the afro that I sometimes let out, behind like all of that was just deep rooted insecurity. You feel me? Have you ever, because we talked about Essence and her beautiful hair, right? Did you see how she cut it?
Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah. But like, have you ever romanticized or like fantasized about the European or mixed hair, or like life or facial features or body structure, like any of that?
Oh yeah. I used to I think like I went through and I don't know, you might actually remember this phase. Like I went through a phase of like deeply almost yearning for an interracial like marriage. I used to fantasize about like only marrying like a white man because I was just like, I mean, if I don't have this kind of hair, then like my child can, and somehow vicariously living through someone else's life. And it was a weird time, and I would be alive. I say sometimes like I wash my hair, and as soon as I get out, like I look at it because I'm like, ooh, this is like the curliest it's gonna be. I never wanted lighter skin. I like attribute that to like my grandma. She was really good about being like, you look good, because like everyone in my family is pretty light. And she did a really good job at just being like, you have a beautiful color, and tell me why. I think that was like a big thing, like being like she's like, you're chocolate, like I don't get to be this chocolate. And she was really sweet about it.
That's so crazy, because that just speaks to like how traumatized we are as a people. Not the beautiful things your grandmother told you. That's not where the trauma is. But like the fact that, because you, Wanita, are fairly light yourself.
And I never see it. Like, you've said this before.
You are fairly light, and you have a very, you have like a red undertone. So, but like, because the rest of your family is even lighter than you, you know, like you are kind of, for lack of better terms, like the black sheep, you know, like with a darker complexion. But for somebody like me, or for like Jean, we would look at you and be like, girl, you like a caramel macchiato, like, you know? So it's just crazy how that works in us. And the mind is so powerful that we really believe, like, oh, I'm so dark, or I'm so ugly, or I'm so whatever it is. The majority of the time, it's not even accurate.
Right. It's wild, because Juicy had Puka. And Puka is, like, she has the darkest complexion of us all. And
very beautiful.
She's grown up, like she's always been beautiful, but she's like grown up to like really, like I'm happy to see her like taking charge and like choosing to like love herself. But I remember like my little sisters and even her like brother, like it was just a lot of teasing going on because they didn't understand. Again, like everyone was light, but they didn't understand like that we could have a chocolate cousin. She has a chocolate daddy, you know, and a lot of it turned into teasing. So I remember it was weird because like you bring that up. Like I remember us like being like, we're dark skinned together. We're in this together, and like now she looks at me and she's like, I'm happy you have my back, but she's like, I really don't understand.
That's wild. Shoot, she was like, I feel you, but no.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what your natural curl pattern is. I've always seen the after effects of like the twist out or the braid or anything like that. Do you feel like does it have any significance, or is it just this is what's cute, this is what I'm comfortable with, so this is what I do?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both. When I was in Texas, I only did wash and goes. So it was a mixture of how I used to do it, like where I used to like take every individual curl and try to spiral it. Whereas like now I kind of just like take my hair in sections, rake through the gel, and then I just do one fat shake and let it do what it does. But it's still not like technically it's my natural hair, but it's not my natural curl pattern because there's something to enhance the pop. And I probably never really would wear my hair out without product, just because since it's so thick, like once it dries, it starts to like knot and curl around itself.
This is the truth. Yeah. Okay. So it's like a balance. You're like in a balanced state right now. You feel like?
Yeah. Where I'm not like too embarrassed about it anymore. Except for like the only time I was when I like met someone and had to explain to them what my hair looked like, and I saw on his face like he was just like, and I had to realize like in that moment like, yo, this just isn't the person for me. You feel me?
Because
like,
if I have to sit here and explain my hair texture to you, sir, and if you have a look of confusion on your face, we are not meant to be.
Yeah, it's like, just, this isn't about to work
at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're going to have to see me in a lot of different processes. Like, I might look like this one day and then this the next day.
Right.
You feel me?
I used to have WhatsApp for my job, but he got on that and saw, like, my picture with my, like, short fro.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember him being like, I'm happy you're wearing this right now. And it was, like, weird because, like, yeah, if this would have been, like, 5 years ago, I would have been like, what? And I probably would have tried to, like, accommodate and, like, look a certain way. But I heard that, like, boy, I look good.
Yeah. No, you tripping.
Like, it's a nice style. Honestly,
I got distracted.
It's okay.
When you cut your hair off the first time versus this most recent time 2 years ago, what was like the difference in your mind state or in your care process? Like, what was just the difference in experiences for you between the two?
The first one was more like, oh no, like, what did I do? It felt like it wasn't my decision, although it was my decision. The second time I knew full throttle, like, this was my decision. I wasn't as, like, afraid.
Yeah.
Because I think when the first time I was more afraid of the future and what I was going to look like. Versus, like, the second time I know what my hair looks like long. I know how to take care of my hair. I wasn't as, like, sad. Like, I didn't have, like, a postpartum chop.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay, my last point for real. Your top 5 products, oils, all of that.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Camille Rose. I use 3. Camille Rose. She's a mom entrepreneur. She, all of her line are like vegan products and not tested on animals.
Okay.
But her moisture milk, her curl moisture milk smells like cake. I love it.
Okay.
Her I use her co-wash. It's like a Moroccan oil and I think a shea butter.
Okay.
Smells like cake. I love it.
Okay.
And then the other third product I use by her is her deep conditioner, her deep algae conditioner. It's really, really, it's so thick. It, like, when you rub it through, it literally feels like it's melting your hair into butter. It kind of smells like cake with tea tree oil.
Okay.
Those 3 products, I swear by them.
Yeah.
And the other 2 is aloe vera juice mixed with some water.
Okay.
It's going, especially thicker hair, is going to absorb really nicely and really benefit the hair. And then lastly, shea butter.
For real?
Shea, that's what's in it now. It's what keeps it soft. Like, the thicker the butter, the better.
Yeah. This has been a tender-headed conversation with Miss Wanita Jones, and yep,
this was fun.
Okay.
I dream pulling on my edges, pulling on my edges. My edges, just a kinky curly baby, tender-headed baby.